Right, let's get one thing straight. A Formula One pit stop isn't just about changing tyres. Oh no, that's like saying the Mona Lisa is just a bit of paint on some old wood. This is a moment of pure, unadulterated, high-octane theatre. It is a violent, beautiful, utterly mad ballet performed by 20-odd people in fireproof suits, all moving as one. It's a symphony of controlled chaos where a multi-million-pound carbon fibre rocket ship screams into a tiny box, gets manhandled by a small army, and is then catapulted back into the fray, all in the time it takes you to sneeze. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and it can win or lose a race. Imagine this, you're hurtling around a track at 200 miles per hour, your brain being squashed into the back of your skull. Your tyres, which were once perfectly good bits of rubber, are now about as grippy as a greased eel on an ice rink. You need new ones. Now. So you dive into the pit lane, a narrow corridor of hope and terror. Waiting for you is a team of human machines, poised like coiled springs, ready to explode into action. For 2 seconds, the world stops. And in those 2 seconds, everything that matters in motorsport happens all at once. It's a spectacle of speed, precision, and frankly, monumental bravery. The importance of this mechanical masterpiece cannot be overstated. You could have the fastest car on the grid, driven by a chap with the reflexes of a housefly and the courage of a lion. But if your pit crew fumbles a wheel nut, it's all for nothing. Game over. You might as well pack up your things and go home. That stop is the hinge on which the door of victory swings. It's where a driver's blistering pace on track is either rewarded or thrown into the bin. It's the ultimate test of a team, not just a driver. It's where man and machine become one. Synchronized, tire-changing, race-winning. And the pressure! Good grief, the pressure is immense. Millions of people are watching. The team principal is watching, his face a mask of pure, undiluted terror. The driver is sitting in the car helpless, his multi-million-pound race in the hands of the bloke with the front jack. Every single person has a job to do, and if one of them is a tenth of a second slow, it's a catastrophe of biblical proportions. It's more stressful than trying to assemble flat-pack furniture with the instructions written in Klingon. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not just a part of the race. It is the race condensed into 2 glorious, heart-stopping seconds. In the old days, and I mean the really old days of the 1950s, a pit stop was a rather more leisurely affair. The driver would trundle in, park the car, get out, have a cup of tea, perhaps a quick cigarette, while a couple of blokes in oily overalls kicked the tyres a bit. They'd splash some fuel in from a churn, wipe the windscreen with a greasy rag, and send the driver on his way after a minute or two. It was all very gentlemanly. There was no sense of urgency. It was more of an inconvenience, a necessary evil, than the strategic weapon it has become today. Then, in the 1980s, a genius by the name of Gordon Murray, designing cars for the Brabham team, had a thought, a brilliant thought. He realized that if you could refuel the car mid-race, you could start with less fuel. Less fuel means less weight, and less weight means you go faster, much faster. Suddenly, the pit stop was reborn. It was no longer a break, it was an opportunity. Teams started practicing, choreographing their every move. The stop times tumbled from minutes to under 30 seconds. It was a revolution. The pit lane became a battlefield. Of course, refueling brought its own brand of spectacular danger. You had highly flammable liquid being pumped under immense pressure just inches away from a red-hot engine and brakes. What could possibly go wrong? Well, quite a lot, as it turned out. We saw dramatic fires with cars and crew members engulfed in flames. It was terrifying and, in a strange way, utterly compelling television. For safety reasons, refueling was banned in 2010. And this, paradoxically, made the pit stops even faster. Now it was all about the tyres. The focus shifted entirely to the speed of the change. And so began the sub-2-second era. It begins with the call, box, box, box. Those words crackling over the radio trigger a flurry of activity. The crew pours out of the garage and takes their positions with military precision. The driver, meanwhile, is barreling down the pit lane at the mandated speed limit, trying to hit his marks perfectly. These marks, little bits of tape on the ground, are everything. If he overshoots by even a few inches, the whole operation is compromised. The front jackman is staring him down, a matador facing a 200 mph bull. The tension is so thick you could slice it with a knife and serve it on a cracker. Bam! The car slams to a halt. The instant it stops, the world explodes. Before the wheels have even finished rotating, the car is lifted into the air by the front jack operator. and by the rear jack operator. It's a violent, sudden movement, hoisting nearly 800 kilograms of machinery off the ground as if it were a toy. Simultaneously, 4 wheel guns descend, close on the wheel guns as they charge in. The sound is astonishing, a high-pitched pneumatic scream. Zzzt! The wheel nuts are loosened in a fraction of a second. It's an act of incredible coordinated violence. As soon as the old nuts are off, the used tires are ripped away by one group of mechanics, while another group slams the fresh new rubber into place. There's no hesitation. It's a seamless exchange, a blur of motion. The new wheels are on and the wheel gun operators are back in action. The nuts are tightened. This is a moment of huge responsibility. Too loose and the wheel could fly off on the track, generally considered to be a bad thing. Too tight and you risk damaging the thread, costing precious time. They have to be perfect. The instant all 4 wheels are secure, the gunners raise their hands. The front jackman sees these signals and drops the car back onto the tarmac with a thud. The rear jackman does the same in perfect harmony. At the same time, the stabilizers hold the nose steady. They can make tiny adjustments to the front wing if needed. But their main job is to stay out of the way. The chief mechanic, or lollipop man in old money, stares at the chaos. When he sees 4 raised hands and a clear pit lane ahead, he hits the green light. The driver floors it, leaving a trail of tire smoke and bewildered onlookers. Let's be clear, the pit crew is not just a random collection of greasy mechanics. This is a highly specialized unit. A team where every single member has a job more specific than the person who polishes the Queen's teacups. At the sharp end you have the wheel gunners, front left wheel gunner, front right wheel gunner, rear left wheel gunner, rear right wheel gunner. So after all that, what have we learned? We've learned that a Formula One pit stop is the most intense, most pressurized, most brilliantly choreographed piece of teamwork in all of sport. It is a 2-second explosion of human endeavor. It is the point where a race can be turned on its head, where strategy and raw speed collide in a shower of sparks, screeching tires. It's not an interruption to the race, it is an amplification of it. It's all the drama, speed, tension of a Grand Prix distilled into one tiny, perfect, violent moment. It is, in short, magnificent. The evolution from a leisurely, minute-long pause to a frantic, sub-2-second blast is a testament to the relentless spirit of innovation that defines Formula One. It shows how, when you put the cleverest minds in motorsport in a room and tell them to go faster, they won't just shave off a second. They'll obliterate the entire concept of what was thought possible. They will analyze every nut, every bolt, every muscle twitch, until the process is as close to mechanical and human perfection as it is possible to get. And then they will try to make it even faster, because that is what they do. Next time you're watching a Grand Prix, don't use the pit stops as an excuse to go and make a cup of tea. Watch them. Watch them closely.